And welcome inside Antelope Gymnasium for the first and last time in the 2021 men's volleyball season. Today's matchup features the Concordia Irvine Eagles versus your Grand Canyon University Antelopes, the number 6 team in the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation versus the number 4. I am Dinah Johnson, and for what hopefully is not the last time working alongside Marley Thompson. And Marley, the Lobes just returned from a road trip in California as they took on USC.
The two-day matchup on the road started off strong when GCU swept USC 3-0 in day one. Then going into day two, GCU had their momentum, but eventually they had to tread water after going into 5 sets, but GCU won 3-2, taking home 2 wins.
And you know, Marley, this isn't the first time that Lobes have met the Eagles this season. Concordia was the second matchup lined up for the season.
That's right. Last matchup, it was January 30th, and they struck down the Eagles 3-0, but all 3 sets surpassed that 25-point mark. Now, these are the last 2 games of the season until GCU goes to Provo, Utah to compete in the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation tournament next week.
Well, we're going to go ahead and send you guys to a break. You're watching men's volleyball right here on GCU TV.
From reimagining the way you work to reassessing what you need, you've changed the way you do business. And now, so have we. With no annual contracts and flexible internet and voice solutions, you'll have what you need to get back to business. Rethink, reconnect, reimagine. Switch to Cox Business today.
When I think back on graduation day, it's such a special moment, walking across the stage, hearing your name called. I think I would really regret not walking. I think being able to finish out a long college experience with an awesome moment like graduation is really special.
If I hadn't decided to walk that day, I think I'd regret not having that sense of closure and accomplishment for that huge chapter in my life.
My name's Noah, and I graduated in 2015.
My name is Lauren, and I graduated in 2016.
Herff Jones, by yourself.
And welcome back inside the Antelope Gymnasium as we get set for Puer National Anthem and starting lineups. So we're going to send you down for that.
Grand Canyon University's historic Antelope Gymnasium for tonight's Mountain Pacific Sports Federation men's volleyball matchup between the Eagles of Concordia University at Irvine and your Grand Canyon University Antelopes. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you all please rise if you are able. Gentlemen, please remove your caps as we begin this evening's competition with the word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this beautiful day and this opportunity to gather together for the great sport of volleyball. We ask for your hand of protection on the student athletes, that they can play hard and avoid injury. We ask for wisdom and discernment on behalf of the coaches and officials, and great sportsmanship on everyone's part. We ask for your hand of protection on all of us, that all we do and all we say may be done to glorify you. We pray this in Jesus' holy name. Amen. Fans, please remain standing as we now honor America with a playing of the national anthem. Thank you. And now let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's contest. First of all, for the Eagles of Concordia University at Irvine. At outside hitter, a 6'6" grad student, number 1, Raymond Barsemian. The liberos, a 5'10" senior, number 4, Addison Enriquez. The setter is a 6'2" sophomore, number 6, McLean Mott. At middle blocker, a 6'3" senior, number 9, Owen Chun. At middle blocker, a 6'8" grad student, number 11, Jesper Schutt. At outside hitter, a 6'4" grad student, number 17, Jordan Hoppy. And at outside hitter, a 6'3" senior, number 22, Jonathan Carlson. The Eagles are 3-11 on the season, 3-11 in Mountain Pacific Sports Federation play. They're led by head coach Sean Patchell. Assistant coaches Seanan Turek, Preston Brown, and Russ Carson.
Drop it! Drop it!
Starting in middle blocker, a 6'4" freshman from Dallas, Texas, number 3, BK Obi. At outside hitter, a 6'7" senior from Phoenix, Arizona, number 4, Trevor Weary. The liberos, a 5'10" junior from Keahu, Hawaii, number 6, Avery Enriquez. The setters, a 6'7" sophomore from Haines City, Florida, number 8, Heath Hughes. At middle blocker, a 6'7" senior from Santa Barbara, California, number 10, Yippee-ki-yay, Ian McLean. At outside hitter, a 6'5" sophomore from Carlsbad, California, number 11, Christian Jenkins. And at opposite, a 6'8" sophomore from Verviers, Belgium, number 19, Hugo Fischer. The Lopes are 6-10 on the season, 6-10 in Mountain Pacific Sports Federation play. Currently ranked number 9 in the nation. Special assistant to the head coach, Ethan Rucker. Graduate assistant, Andrew McCall. Assistant coach, Steve Smith. And leading the Lopes, head coach, Matt Worley.
And let's go ahead and recap those starting lineups brought to you by Talking Stick Resort. On Concordia's side, in the white jerseys, we have Raymond Barsemian in the number 1, Addison Enriquez in the number 4 jersey, number 6, McLean Mott, number 9, Owen Chun, number 11, Jesper Schutt, number 17, Jordan Hoppy, and number 22, Jonathan Carlson. And for Grand Canyon University in the gray jerseys, we have BK Obi, number 4, Trevor Weary, number 6, Avery Enriquez, number 8, Heath Hughes, number 10, Ian McLean, number 11, Christian Janke, number 13, Cole Udall, and number 19, Hugo Fischer, as we get set for the first serve. Concordia is coached by head coach Sean Patchell, and GCU is coached by, of course, you know him, Matt Worley. So a service error early on in this first set as Jordan Hoppy steps back to the service line. Hoppy, Hughes, tipping it over, finding the open spot on Concordia's side. And just like that, we're knotted up at 1.
And Heath Hughes, again, is the person who controls the offense And right there, it was kind of like a behind the back, if you want to say, a little turn and burn right there. Great way to start this game off.
McLean with the serve. And Jesper shoot from the middle.
Ian McLean at number 10 on GCU's side, trying to get down there for the dig, but fell between the gaps.
Jesper shoot on the service line.
And they will wipe off the floor real quick. Now, the setting might look a little bit different. We are here inside the Antelope Gym, which is where they played last season, majority of their games, but this season they had the opportunity to play in the GCU arena. Some of them like it, some of them hate it, but back to the basics.
Yeah, Worley, of course, talked about this before the game. He said about half the team loves being in here, while the other half strongly dislikes it. But yeah, we have been in the GC arena, and this is the first and last time we'll be playing in the Antelope Gymnasium this season. Hughes with the serve. He goes with the floater. From the middle, Owen Chun. Blocked by Hugo Fisher. Jonathan Carlson into the block. BK Obi with that massive block from the middle.
Man, right there, coming off with the energy. BK Obi, he played against BYU. He had those 2 kills and 5 points. Great play by him. And another tap down by him right there. Just keep adding to his stats.
He was with the serve. Back row. Jordan Hoppy picked up. Janke, off-speed shot, kept alive. Jonathan Carlson through the seam, picked up by Weary. Janke into the block. Obi stuck a limb out there to try and keep it alive. Not able to. It rolls into the limited capacity fans.
Man, Jordan Hoppy, number 17, he is a graduate from Wisconsin. He is one of those players that could be the determination if they win or lose. He has 124 kills and 81 digs and 151 points this season.
Raymond Bar-Simeon with the service error. Lopes are up 5-3 as Christian Janke steps back to the service line. Goes with the top spin. Bar-Simeon blocked. Free ball over. Enriquez is there. Weary. Kept alive by Hoppy. Bar-Simeon cross court. Enriquez says, I got it. And it trickles through the top of the roof and down and out of play for the Lopes.
And, you know, it's something that they dealt with all last year, too, when they played in here. When they have those balls that just skyrocket up there, something's going to get messed with the ball a little bit.
And, you know, it's a different environment. This is a compact arena that they're playing in. They're used to Obi from the middle. He's been a strong player early on in this first set. But like I was saying, yeah, that's a completely different environment. They're having to play some compact volleyball, whereas they're used to that open environment in the arena. Obi, floater. Setter dump, kept alive by Hughes, pushed over. The ref says, not today. That's a double.
And, you know, GCU has a higher record than Concordia. Concordia is 3-11, but they beat UCLA. GCU, they fell to UCLA. Concordia also won to USC, so they are kind of one of those wild cards, as we talked about before this match, that you don't know how it's going to go, and then those graduates, man, they got an arm on them.
Yeah, Worley even mentioned that in the pregame our pregame banter with him. Got to keep an eye out for those graduates.
PK Obi to serve.
Obi still in possession of the serve. Mott sends it back. Owen Chun hits that one inside the court.
Owen Chun to serve.
Owen Chun, number 9 senior middle blocker for Concordia. He has 23 kills this season.
Weary. Hughes to Weary. That one almost falls, but Carlson is there. Jenke pokes it up. Hugo Fisher from the opposite. Roll shots it over. Back row. Carlson.
Jonathan Carlson with the hit.
Ooh, I don't know about you, but I'm liking everything that is being going on right now on the court. Just the fingertips, the hard agility that they're going to have to face up against Concordia. I think it's going to be a long few sets.
Yeah, both teams seem like they've showed up to play. They're playing their heart out right before tournament that's happening next week.
And McLean Mott trying to run out of the benches to catch that ball. As you saw earlier, Christian Jenke did the same. These boys are locked and loaded.
Fisher. Tight ball. Refs are going to call it in favor of Concordia, saying someone was over the net.
See the frustration on Hugo Fisher's face, and he was one of those guys that coach said hates playing in this gym because he thinks the floors are a little bit harder. So we'll see how they adjust to that.
Hughes, Fisher. No touch off the block. Point goes to Concordia. It is 8-8.
McLean Mott to serve.
McLean Mott back to serve. Serves that one out of bounds. Side out for the Lopes. And Trevor Weary is going to take the serve.
And now we got Avery Enriquez taking the spot of Cole Udall. Again, they will probably split that time as they have done recently. And if you hear us say to Enriquez, that's because Avery Enriquez's brother is on the other side.
That'll be the last time these two brothers go head-to-head on opposing schools, as Addison is a senior.
Jordan Hoppy to serve.
Avery's just a junior, so he's got one more in him.
Trevor Weary trying to go out to the right corner to pick that one up. Man, it was so fun watching him against that UCLA game. He was that special utility, as we kept referring to him as, who came out there and just, delivered for GCU. And when we saw him at the Lopies, which is an award for all the athletes, he's like, you got to get out there and take care of business, and that's what he did.
Side out Eagles. Jesper Schutt to serve.
Jesper Schutt back to serve. We're knotted up at 10 apiece. Weary. Back row, Weary tipped. Concordia keeps it alive. Weary again, tight ball. Obi finds the seam, puts it down. Lopes go up by one, is 11-10.
Number 11, Jesper on Concordia's side, was all over the place right there. Again, Trevor Weary coming out of the shadows and, again, taking care of business.
Raymond Barsimian with the hit. Raymond Barsimian to serve.
Barsimian. Hughes, Obi. Hoppy sends it out. Carlson. Weary trying to keep it alive, not able to.
Very trying to get his left hand under the ball. Could not quite get there. And now it will be the graduate Barsimian to serve.
That rolls off the top. Back row, Janky. What a good cross-court spot.
Christian Janky to serve.
We have actually not said Christian Janky's name too much in a game at the start, which is kind of rare, you know, when there's a game going on, but Janky can be that deciding factor to win it all.
Janky shoots that one out of bounds. And you know, the Lopes lineup is looking a little different than it is normally. Obviously, they're trying to get their boys refreshed for the upcoming tournament next week, making sure that they are all ready to go for that.
That's right, yeah, they're gonna head to Provo, Utah. And usually for those tournaments, they kind of just travel around to different places based on wins and losses. But this year they will just stay in Provo. Coach said that their practices will be shorter, so their physical mentality, their mental mentality has to be top-notch going into next week.
Back row, Barsimian. That one goes out the back.
Barsimian, man, you got to watch him. Number one on Concordia's side. He jumps up, looks like he has that 12-foot vertical that Kyle Thompson does.
Obi, floater. Barsimian! With a kill, and they're really, it seems like they're trying to sharpen that back row attack for both Hoppy and Barsimian. They've seen them hit that a few times already.
And man, they're just coming out strong. They're just striking down and having those dirt desserts.
Hughes, McLean trying to hit that cross-court hard seam. And Marley, why don't you let the viewers know what a good old dirt dessert is?
A dirt dessert is one of my favorite slangs that I have found involving volleyball, and it means it is such a sweet, sweet kill, just like dessert.
So we're going to go ahead and look at the 3 keys to the game, brought to you in part by Sanderson Ford. Marley, what are some ways that the Lopes can execute this matchup that will put them in a great spot going into next week's tournament?
Key number 1 for this game is how high can you go? Obviously, we have seen with Obi and with all of our front line that blocks just really have to be there. They have to be strong, they have to be tight, because those graduates are going to come up and try to knock it down strong. Number 2, senioritis. Some of us are graduating on Monday, but this is also applicable to this. This is their last 2 games, but they cannot just give up easy and not want to put effort into the last 2 games, because these are just as crucial and can be the determining factor. And number 3, home sweet home. As we said, they are back here in their old gym. They need to stick to the basics, stick to what they know, be aware of their surroundings, and with these 3 keys, they could secure that first day win against Concordia.
And you talk about senioritis. We got senior night, well, afternoon rather, tomorrow. That'll be a 4 o'clock start time. It'll be the conclusion of this double header, if you will, against Concordia.
Side out Lopes.
And the point goes to the Lopes. It is now tied 15-15 with Hugo Fisher backing up to serve.
He goes with the top spin. Mott sends it back row. And that's a tip. Hugo Fisher laying out for that one. Barsimian really working that back row attack.
Barsimian, such a strong player. He has 228 kills, 17 aces. and 257.5 points this season. Once again, that other graduate, Jordan Hoppy, right there getting it done for Concordia.
Now I was just watching the up ref to see if maybe he'd call that one as an over the net interference, but it was clean. Good effort by Jordan Hoppy. Ian McLean into the net, no touch. He's frustrated with himself there. Normally he comes out pretty strong. He's got a very high hitting percentage, but struggling here in that first set.
And we're gonna keep it here as Concordia calls for a timeout. This can give us a little bit to talk about the coaches. And for GCU's side, as you have known this whole season, it is Matt Worley. Awesome guy to talk to, has accomplished a lot. This is his 5th season. He led the Lopes, beating some of the top name guys at UCLA and Stanford for the first time ever for GCU. And then on the other side, we have Sean Patchell. He's been coaching there since 2013. He claimed 4 victories over ranked teams last year before the season was cut short. Those wins included number 7 UC Irvine, number 8 Grand Canyon, in just a span of 48 hours. So very decorated coaches, looking to add more.
You know, Sean Patchell, he was actually part of BYU's first NCAA men's volleyball team. He was a starter all 4 years during his tenure in Provo. He also went on to play professionally in Spain on the indoor and sand volleyball circuits before returning to the States to coach. Little fun fact about him. Weary finds the seam between the block and puts it away. As the Lopes try and close the block in between the Concordia Eagles. It is 16-18. Mott out to Barsimian off the block and out of bounds.
Jordan Hoppy to serve.
Jordan Hoppy sends that one out the back line. Lopes closing the gap. It is 19-17 as Tanner Petchel checks in to take the serve for Ian McLean.
And it's fun watching the different sets on each side. Concordia is more of that more powerful, outgoing, where GCU seems a little bit, in a sense, on the lighter side.
Petchel. Janke diving out of nowhere, trying to keep that one in play. It is 17-20.
Great job by Petchel, getting it done when he checks in, he serves, and then once again he was there on the ground, able to get a hand up for that, but the Lopes could not quite keep the ball alive.
Blake O'Martian checks in and goes back to take the serve. It's a floater. Janke. And our outsides are doing a great job of finding the holes in the block and really just putting it into that cross-court seam. It's working for them.
Heath Hughes to serve.
Hughes. And blocked by Janke. I think Obi got a little bit of that one too.
I think he got a little bit, but majority of that went to Janke, and he gave props to where it was deserved, and that was Janke right there. Great, great position for GCU. So it is 2019 Concordia. We are going to send it to a short break, and we'll see you back soon.
Grand Canyon University, a Christian university, is one of the largest and fastest growing universities in the country. GCU offers 270 dynamic academic programs with modern apartment-style living, classrooms, labs, restaurants, and more. Located in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, GCU's vibrant community and expansive campus is ranked top 20 for best college campuses in America. My university integrates the free market system with a welcoming Christian worldview perspective into its academic programs and throughout campus life, so you can put your faith into action and help transform communities. GCU campus students received over $157 million in scholarships in 2020, and many students attend GCU for less than the cost of a state university. Visit gcu.edu/myoffer to see the scholarships you qualify for. Admissible high school seniors can schedule a free visit from anywhere in the country. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu/myoffer.
Welcome back inside the Antelope Gymnasium as we're closing in on this first set. It's a pretty tight game. Lopes are sitting at 19 to Concordia's 20. Both teams doing a really good job of holding on to momentum, and the hustle on both sides is actually so good.
Goes back to key number 3, senioritis, and that is not relevant right here.
Carlson.
Jonathan Carlson with the hit.
With a cross-court kill.
Brandon Barsimian to serve.
And the boys were looking down at the floor right there, kind of at the same spot where they had them wipe it. Hopefully that will become too much of a problem. They might just have to deal with it.
Barsimian back to serve. He sends that one into the net. It is 20-21.
Barsimian a little frustrated with himself, but I think he's playing a great game so far, and there's plenty more to play.
Janke back to serve. He elects for the topspin. That's over. Carlson blocked by Hugo Fisher and BK Obi. Man, Obi's just really getting all the blocks tonight. Loving his defensive net efforts.
And you gotta love the energy that he brings. He turns around and he gets excited. He gets the boys pumped up, and that is what they need to continue their momentum. They need that energy.
Janke, he out rolls off the tape. Back row, Hoppy blocked by Trevor Weary. Back-to-back blocking efforts. What more could you ask for?
Oh man, these boys that are coming in that we don't usually see are turning out to be those game changers for GCU. It is just closing into set 1, but now GCU is just 1 point ahead of them. Diana, tell me what you're liking so far.
Man, I just mentioned it, but those blocking efforts on the Lope side is just so good. And Concordia's not making it easy on them. They're doing a really good job of bringing the power. If you watch,
coming from the back just so powerfully. Yeah.
Yes, their transitions. They're just so big, and we talk about those 2 graduate students. They're big assets for the Lopes, the Eagles.
And it goes back, like you said, the blocking goes back to key number 1. How high can you go? And it seems like that is for GCU. How high can you go? How high can you reach to block this strong back line that is coming out with just force?
And a force it is to be reckoned with. We'll see how Concordia comes out in these next few points. Sometimes a good timeout will ice the server. So I guess we'll see how Janke reacts to that. And he's been really consistent in the service department early on in this set.
Well, you know, Janke's had 19 aces this season, so let's see what he does.
Janke rolls over, and that's a service ace. No ice in this house.
And make that 20 aces, and that was a perfect definition of a let right there. It touched the net and then dropped down, and no defenders were able to get there.
Janke. Barsimian. And that's blocked again BK Obi and Trevor Weary. Man, why don't we see this man in the middle more often?
Oh man, these starters who are not usually starters are stepping up in a big way, and Coach Worley has to be happy about that.
I'd like to see them do that again and see Worley's reaction. And just like that, we're at set point. Almost a service ace. Carlson running it down. Hoppy out of bounds. That closes out first set. And Marley, there's a lot to unpack in that whole game. Obviously, it comes down, I think, to that defensive net effort.
100%, and we got to give it to Trevor Weary and Obi and Hugo and all of those boys out there. But man, that defensive play and how high can you go has really come into play, and they have delivered and they have showed what they can do for GCU, and hopefully that will carry on to set 2, and none of that senioritis will step in.
Yeah, and they're taking their time to really close that seam in that block. They're lining up with the hitter's hands. It's just a gorgeous, it's harmony, and I just can't wait to see how that plays out in the rest of this matchup. So we're gonna go ahead and send you guys to a quick break. We'll be right back here for set number 2. You're watching men's volleyball right here on GCU TV.
At Raising Cane's, we know quality takes time, patience, and the best ingredients, which is why every chicken finger we serve is hand battered and cooked to order just for you. We never take shortcuts. That doesn't mean you can. Introducing an even faster and easier way to order Cane's with our new app. Find your closest restaurant, customize your meal, pay, and schedule pickup. So next time, take it easy and order with the Raising Cane's app.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Is it possible to cook up the barbecue bacon burger at home? Well, that depends. Does your home have fresh chopped onions, pickles, smoked cheddar, Monterey Jack, bacon, tangy barbecue sauce, and orange and white stripes with the word Whataburger emblazoned on the front of it? If so, then absolutely. Good thing there's the limited time barbecue bacon burger at Whataburger.
Welcome back inside the Antelope Gymnasium. And Marley, let's go ahead and talk about not your usual suspects that we're used to seeing. BK Obi and Trevor Weary really stepping up in this first set.
Yes, we went into commercial talking about them, and we're coming out of commercial talking about them too, because how could you not? Obi has a .70 hitting percentage already with 4 blocks. Trevor Weary has 2 blocks and 2 digs, and they are those top names in the stats leaders so far for this game. Now, close to 30 seconds before set 2 is underway, so let's see what the Concordia Eagles does in response to GCU.
And it looks like Hoppy is going to take the first serve.
And a fun fact we found out about him today is it is his 24th birthday. So happy birthday to Hoppy from Concordia.
And nobody sits down until the looks.
And Christian Oviedo is going to go ahead and take the serve. Looked like Hoppy and them switched midway. So he's going to be de-essing back row, trying to bring a different aspect to the Eagles' back row defense. Oh, Obi from the middle. And that's going to go ahead and make his hitting percentage even better than it already is, where it's sitting at a .750. Marley, you already mentioned that, but that's pretty good.
And keep him at the top of the list. Watch out for number 3, GCU.
Janke back to serve. He serves that one into the net. 1-1.
And man, the Lopes they're just on fire with everything right now, and they got that momentum. Like we said, they can't give up easy little points, although it is just 1-1. They can't let that set in.
Hughes back row for Fisher, roll shot over. Addison Enriquez is there to pick it up. Udall. Here you go, Fisher, down line. Kept alive. Played into the stands. Addison goes up there. See if he can't pull it out, but I'm just loving the hustle out of the Eagles as well.
Man, Addison Enriquez looks like he was about to haul up the bleachers up there with the fans to make that play. Gotta love the hustle, though. Obi to serve.
Simeon, cross court, Janke's there. Fisher into the block and out of bounds. That makes it 3-1. It's actually pretty loud inside the Antelope Gymnasium. The crowd had to be on a list in order to get in. It's not general admittance like the GC Arena where you can get a ticket. You had to be mentioned in order to get in, essentially. So pretty small crowd, but loud nonetheless. Weary, that's out of bounds.
And I love being in the Antelope Gym because we're closer to the court and we can hear what's going on that last one. They said 3-3, saying get 3 blockers on this one that's about to be hit over the net.
Hughes, McLean blocked by Jesper Schutt. And
Jesper Schutt, yeah, that solo block was phenomenal.
Hugo Fisher with the tip. That messed with them a little bit. And it's 4-3. And talk about the energy inside this Antelope Gymnasium. Both benches are just having a great time. We're closer to the bench than we normally are in the GC Arena, but it's fun to see the guys messing around and just loving to be able and blessed to be back playing the sport that they love so much. Hoppy picked it up. And they're going to call that one a double. Said it hung out in his hands a little too long.
Hugo Fisher to serve.
Fisher back to serve. Oviedo. Simeon kept alive. Blocked by Heath Hughes. And Carlson sends that one into the net.
Coming in for the Eagles, number 18, Eric Boisfort.
Eric Boisfort checks in for number 22, Jonathan Carlson.
And Heath Hughes, big player on that last play. He was named Mountain Pacific Sports Federation Defensive Player of the Week, ranked 12th in the nation in assists per set. Very versatile player.
Weary off the top of the block. Weary with the block again. Hugo Fisher down line. That's out of bounds. And it's 6-4.
Apologies. Great hustle by both teams. You know, usually those rallies are a lot shorter because they are so powerful. And these boys still are powerful right now, but it seems like they are able to match each other.
And that's going to be hit out of bounds by Simeon.
Jeremy to serve.
I think most of that noise has to come from the Lopes bench.
Yeah, they can be pretty loud. Weary with the serve. Kept alive. Not alive long enough, however, for the Lopes to step in and make a second play on that ball.
Oh man, it was a dime of a pass over there on Concordia's side. kind of juked him out a little bit. Very nicely executed.
Boisvert back to serve. That one's out the back, and it's 8-5. So Concordia is still within striking distance of the Lopes, but there is some really good back and forth. Neither teams are letting each other get into kind of these slumps where they get out of the game. Hoppy left-handed. He is keeping that alive. Hugo Fisher sends it down. Out to Hoppy, cross court. McLean's there. Hoppy.
Jordan Hoppy with the hit.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday right there. Nice, strong dump right there by him. But right there, Heath Hughes going under and keeping that ball alive. That's why he was named Mountain Pacific Sports Federation Defensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, he's got some great hustle. I feel like he always has at least one play in every game that's just beautiful.
Definitely that player that goes above and beyond.
The extra mile. And that's why I believe he's in that starting setter position.
And why he's ranked nationally as well.
Hughes. From the middle, Mason Mullins. And he kind of just snuck into the match.
And Mason Mullins is actually from Chandler, Arizona, so he is back home for a little bit, for 2 days. Great job.
Janky, no contesting that one. What a stunning opposite hit. We don't see him coming from that outside very often.
And you know, I think those are, you got to switch it up against this Concordia team as they are playing right now. You got to have those little sneaky plays to get in there.
It was a very fast tempo outside too. BK! He had that quick little block, but send it a little too far out the back end.
Not the most controlled ball on Concordia's side in that last one. But then the little slip up by GCU, and that point will go to Concordia. It is now 10-8 GCU.
Hoppy. That's a service error. Service errors. Concordia is a little bit on the heavier side. They got 10 to GCU's, 11. That just changed on my stat monitor. To GCU's 4. Great serve by Obi. Picked up by Janky. Hughes is there, out of system, tight ball. Hugo trying to keep that one alive. That was just an awkward ball to tango with right there.
A great Hercules power play by Christian Janky in the back row.
Fisher off the top of the block, out of play. That one off Jesper Schutt and Eric Boisvert's hands. Hugo Fisher with the serve. Bar Simeon sends that one out of bounds.
Great read by Avery Enriquez right there. He was the one to see if the ball was going to go out, and sure did. Great job by him. The team was very excited for that one.
Fisher. Enriquez is there. Jesper Schutt from the middle.
I know we called out Heath Hughes for his hustle and bustle, but man, the rest of the team is sure hustling as well.
Bar Simeon. Janky's there, great pass. Trevor Weary, cross. Oh, Addison Enriquez laid out for that one, and Christian Oviedo What a ham.
Christian
Ball
Obiet.
took out the stat monitor and he was like, I that was up. I got that one. It clearly went off the stat monitor.
Oh man, it directly hit that computer and was for sure a dead ball, but he still ran over there trying to keep it alive. All smiles on his face. And we will take a break because that computer screen is just demolished over there.
And that's funny because I saw that same computer get nailed in warm-ups and it stayed alive. And honestly, that's not the first computer I've seen fall this season. I think that's the first fallen soldier of this 2021 season. But let's talk about some of the fun facts we got for Concordia's side. We talk about Jordan Hoppy a lot, graduate student from Greendale, Wisconsin. Marley, do you got some fun facts on him?
Oh man, I think his was one of my favorites because he's from Wisconsin and that's where my boyfriend is from as well. And he said his favorite thing is he loves cheese curds and he loves custard ice cream. And that is what Wisconsin is known for. Definitely a fun little fact. A fun little fact for Bar Simeon is his career goal is to play indoor volleyball in the Olympics. And man, obviously the Olympics has taken a turn this year, but is now continuing. Keep playing hard, and hopefully one day we will see him in the Olympics.
Yeah, that's awesome that he listed that. I'm going to go back to Jordan Hoppy because I just think this is so funny. He lists his hobbies, and I'm just going to go down the line because why not? So Jordan Hoppy enjoys playing beach volleyball, playing golf, adventuring, sending it, lifting, and of course eating, which is so funny. You obviously can tell the guy has a sense of humor. He puts that in his college bio.
Oh yes, yeah. Concordia was some fun reading to do. If you have a chance, go onto their website, look up their roster. They got their favorite sayings, they got their favorite foods, all that stuff. Very fun reading.
So we're looking to come out of timeout.
Hopefully no more fallen soldiers this game.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do about that computer, but unfortunate turn of events in Antelope Gymnasium. Weary with the serve. Picked up by Enriquez. What a dig. Kept alive by Jakey. Sent over by Fisher. And that one goes inside. That was Jesper Schutt.
Oh man, you got to talk about the players, but you also got to talk about the assistant coaches who read that as well. And they hopped out of the way as fast as they could, and Janky came over there. Great job by everyone involved in that.
Good read, and I don't know why Janky's not a track star. The man's so stinking fast. Ian McLean from the middle. And there he is. He's had some struggles earlier on in that first set with just putting away some of the opportunities that he was given. Looks like he found a rhythm there. McLean. Hoppy down line, picked up by Fisher. And the ref says, that's a double.
Jesper Schutt to serve.
Jesper Schutt. He fused with the setter dump there. Cole Udall. Back row. Fisher. Not back row, excuse me. He's front row, but they're going to give that to the Lopes.
And it looked like that one did drop in or was on the line, but either way it is GCU's point.
Bar Simeon off the top of Janky's hands and out of bounds. That'll be a point for Concordia. And yeah, Concordia's head coach came off the bench to come and let the down ref know, hey, no more funny business. We're watching that line like a hawk.
Yeah.
Hughes. Trevor Weary with the back row tip. Picked up by Cole Udall. Kept alive by Eric Boisvert. Addison Enriquez is there. Boisvert into the tape. That's a no touch. But you gotta love his effort defensively.
Yeah, it was Boisvert who was all over the court right there trying to save it for his team, but in the end was a downfall for that one. Again, great rally by both sides.
Janke sends that one out the back line. It's 17-14. Still keeping it a relatively close game. Hoppy. And it looks like this second set is just a game of service errors. Who can make the most and who can make the less?
Yeah, and on service errors, as you previously mentioned, Concordia is way up there. I don't know if it has to do with how powerfully they are hitting it over, but it's the little things.
Tanner Petchel checks in to take the serve. Boisvert from the outside.
Off the fingertips of Christian Janke, and that one will go to Concordia.
Mason Mullins back to serve as Tanner Petchel checks out. Hugo Fisher! That was a great kill, no contesting that. He really found the open seam between the block. Just put her away.
It was a nice, again, hustle by Christian Oviedo, but could not quite get it back off.
Hughes sets up Weary off the top of the block. Back row Hoppy. Great follow by Christian Oviedo all the way to the back line. He wanted to make sure that ball was indeed out of bounds.
Coming in for the Eagles, number 7, Brock Henderson.
Bar Simeon with the serve. It's 16, excuse me. Service error.
Trevor Weary to serve.
Trevor Weary to serve.
Blocked by Ian McLean and Heath Hughes. Bar Simeon. Out the backcourt, no touch. Point goes to Lopes. It's 21-16.
Oh man, Bar Simeon, again, we talk about his power and his energy that he has. He needs to learn how to hone that in and control it so he stops giving up those little errors.
Most definitely. Yeah. And we're closing in on the end of the set. What are some things that both teams can look to do? I mean, as far as Concordia goes, they have to make up about 5 points, which is a lot. It's doable, but it's not a lot. And whereas Grand Canyon only has 4 points to go before they end the second set.
Well, as we talked about with Coach Worley beforehand, your ranking does not determine the depth of your team and how great you are. GCU just needs to stay where they are. They're doing a great job of rotating players in and out, doing a great job of inviting those new players in, and they got a momentum going with everyone on that side. I think Concordia is kind of lacking on that side. They have been putting in new people trying to find that combination, which they needed to figure out in set one. GCU doing a fantastic job. Concordia needs to figure some stuff out.
Yeah, for sure, but still, momentum is pretty good for both sides. The hustle staying there, both sides are staying very loose. I mean, if we're not sitting by the Concordia men's bench, but when I glance over there, they're joking around just as much as GCU.
And, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about, you know, having fun and succeeding as well, and you want to win, but as long as you're having fun and you're happy through it all.
Hughes, McLean.
Great block by Hughes and McLean. I think both of them got a little piece of that pie. Weary back to serve. Barsimian down line. Great up by Enriquez. Avery, that is. Pushed over. Boisford, Eric Boisford, the junior outside hitter. Really stepping up.
There's been a lot of sky balls during this game, just going up there, kind of messing with those lights a little bit, and then straight into the chest of Hugo Fish, and he could not deliver.
Janke with the little hook. Pushes that one through the block.
Very nicely executed, and seemed like he had a smile on the way down because he knew how great of a play that was over the hand.
It was very basketball-esque, if you will.
Shows how athletic he is, that's for sure.
Jesper Schutt with the hit.
Jesper Schutt with the kill.
Jesper Schutt to serve.
Jesper Schutt stepping back for Concordia. It is 23-18 GCU.
Janke into the block.
Brock Henderson with the block.
And Concordia catching up little by little. But GCU very close to that 25-point mark.
As you said, teams can make up that gap very fast, and right as Janke messed up, he looked at the game clock to see, or the score to see where it was.
Good up by BK. Fisher sends it over. Hoppy, Weary trying to get under that one.
Again, closing in that gap. Concordia is, and now it's 23-20. We are going to send you to a minute break, so stay tuned here on GCU TV.
When life seems uncertain, there's one credit union that provides both dollars and cents. Copper State Credit Union. With solutions that focus on our members, you can take advantage of competitive rates, free cashback checking, and local attentive service. Uplifting our community is a standard we live by. That's why thousands of your Arizona neighbors rely on us. Strengthening Arizona families through financial empowerment. That's Copper State Credit Union.
Welcome back inside the Antelope Gymnasium. Closing in on this second set. Both teams doing a great job. Effort, hustle's all there. It's just a matter of who can minimize those errors the fastest. And right now it's the Lopes that are doing just that.
And you know, last time that they played in January, it was a close game. They might have swept, but it was close every single set.
Great dig by Barsimian and BK Obi. Man, he's well on the way to being the player of the game. I can't get enough of this guy.
Concordia needs some time to think because now it is 24-20. We will keep it here. Diana, what do you think is happening over there in Concordia's huddle?
You know, I just think they let the Lopes in just a little too much in the second set. I don't think that they're really making that bad of errors in any one category. It's just they let them in one too many times. And just to take a look at our stats, because we really haven't been visiting them much this game, Hugo Fisher, he's leading the Lopes with 8 kills. And BK Obi, he's got 4. Let's talk about his 5 blocks. I mean, if he keeps up this, theoretically the man should have a double-double. I am just cheering on for someone to get a double-double this season. And I mean, even on Concordia's side, what do you see as far as...
You know, Jesper, I like his hitting percentage. Again, when you were saying Obi, I love his hitting percentage as well. Barsimian, that graduate, is at the top with 7 kills. If you take a look at the stats on the line, Concordia has put in a lot more players than GCU has. That just goes to show they're trying to figure it out, and they don't know if they can stop the Lopes' energy.
And set point. Heath Hughes is gonna serve it away. And Mason Mullins keeping the Eagles in it. It's 24-22.
Another thing these teams have to watch out for when they get to the end, you can't get too comfortable. If you get too comfortable, then you put your guard, you take your guard down, and that team can get right in there.
And that's set number 2. A lot to unpack in that. I mean, we talked about how Concordia, they're not struggling really bad in any one area, but they just let them in one too many times. I mean, you can take a look at that service error category. The Concordia Eagles have about 14 service errors to GCU's 5. So, I mean, that could have done it for the second set.
I think errors has a lot to do with that right there. It seemed like error after error is what it was. It doesn't seem like there was a lot of long rallies going on as there was in the middle of it. Concordia maybe trying to put some more people in and out, but so far GCU is delivering.
So we're gonna go ahead and send it to a quick break. We'll be back right here with set number 3. You're watching men's volleyball right here on GCU TV.
Grand Canyon University, a Christian university, is one of the largest and fastest growing universities in the country. GCU offers 270 dynamic academic programs with modern apartment-style living, classrooms, labs, restaurants, and more. Located in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, GCU's vibrant community and expansive campus is ranked top 20 for best college campuses in America. My university integrates the free market system with a welcoming Christian worldview perspective into its academic programs and throughout campus life, so you can put your faith into action and help transform communities. GCU campus students received over $157 million in scholarships in 2020, and many students attend GCU for less than the cost of a state university. Visit gcu.edu/myoffer to see the scholarships you qualify for. Admissible high school seniors can schedule a free visit from anywhere in the country. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu/myoffer.
From reimagining the way you work to reassessing what you need, you've changed the way you do business. And now, so have we. With no annual contracts and flexible internet and voice solutions, you'll have what you need to get back to business. Rethink, reconnect, reimagine. Switch to Cox Business today.
When I think back on graduation day, it's such a special moment, walking across the stage, hearing your name called. I think I would really regret not walking. I think being able to finish out a long college experience with an awesome moment like graduation is really special.
If I hadn't decided to walk that day, I think I'd regret not having that sense of closure and accomplishment for that huge chapter in my life.
My name's Noah and I graduated in 2015.
My name is Lauren and I graduated in 2016.
Herff Jones.
Welcome back inside the Antelope Gymnasium for set number 3. And if you're just now joining us, GCU leads with 2 sets to Concordia's 0. But I mean, in the sport of volleyball, anything can happen. That's what I love so much about it. You can come back from any point differential. You can come back from as many set differentials as possible, I guess.
And we saw that in UCLA. They won those first 2 sets, and then straight after that, UCLA took over, and unfortunately the GCU Lopes lost.
Service error by Janke. First point goes to the Eagles. Hoppy. Topspin. Mullen sends it down, kept alive by the Lopes. Out to Fisher, cross court. What a great spot. He doesn't let anything shake him up to where he hits the ball. He really takes his time to think about placement. That's really, I think that's one of the biggest areas where he's developed this year.
A great job by all players on GCU's side. They got caught up in the back a little bit, but then spread back out. Great job reading the court.
I think that's the first service error we've seen out of Obi tonight.
Mason Mullins to serve.
Mason Mullins to serve. It is 1-2. McLean! What a great hit. Like I mentioned before, he's really struggled earlier in that first set, found a little bit of footing in the second, and it looks like he's fuller here for the third.
Yeah, he found that gap right there, doing exactly what he is great at.
A little bit of miscommunication between Jesper Schutt.
Hugo Fisher to serve.
Hugo Fisher back to serve. Enriquez puts it tight. Heath Hughes getting a rare kill.
Oh man, I love the energy right there. Heath Hughes just said, no way, took his right hand and just slapped it right down. Great job by Heath Hughes. What powerful hit.
I think it makes my day just as much as theirs when I see a setter get a kill. Carlson from the outside, Weary into the block.
Owen Chung with the block.
Don't know where the coverage was on that one. Looks like the guys were kind of, one of them was backwards at one point, it seemed like.
Kind of shifting sides here for this next one.
Weary, great pass. Ian McLean! He is here.
And Yippee-ki-yay is correct once again, finding that gap and putting it down.
Weary. That's almost an ace, almost. Chun sends it over. Back row, Trevor Weary. Wow. He's a pretty, you don't see him get crazy excited all that much, but he was pumped about that one. Great execution.
Definitely getting a little bit more excited, but taking care of business right there. And he is one of those seniors that GCU will be losing.
What a great block by Ian McLean and Christian Jenke, great team effort there. Weary still serving. Sends that one over. Back row, blocked again by Jenke. And I think Ian was there for a little bit of that, but mostly Jenke on that one. Concordia wants to talk it over. We're going to send you guys to break, give you a little bit of a breather for all that action in this third set. You're watching men's volleyball right here on GCU TV.
At Raising Cane's, we know quality takes time, patience, and the best ingredients, which is why every chicken finger we serve is hand battered and cooked to order just for you. We never take shortcuts. That doesn't mean you can't. Introducing an even faster and easier way to order Cane's with our new app. Find your closest restaurant, customize your meal, pay, and schedule pickup. So next time, take it easy and order with the Raising Cane's app.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Is it possible to cook up the barbecue bacon burger at home? Well, that depends. Does your home have fresh chopped onions, pickles, smoked cheddar, Monterey Jack, bacon, tangy barbecue sauce, and orange and white stripes with the word Whataburger emblazoned on the front of it? If so, then absolutely. Good thing there's the limited time barbecue bacon burger at Whataburger.
Welcome back inside the Antelope Gymnasium. Some really awesome back-to-back blocking action for the Lopes. We'll see if Concordia can answer.
And talk about Block City. That should be the name of this game, Diana. Block City for GCU. Concordia letting their guard down. GCU finding those gaps, and they're not letting up anytime soon.
Weary still in possession of the serve. It's 8-3. Good block again by Ian McLean. Touch, chicken winged up. They're gonna call that as an over the net. Point goes to the Lopes. I thought for sure that ball was gonna fall by Chung. That was a good effort from his part.
Coming in for the Eagles, number 21,
Keegan Carey
7, Brock Henderson.
and Brock Henderson are going to check into the game, see if they can give a different look for Concordia and basically stop the blocking run of GCU. Weary. And number 21, Keegan Carey, sends that one down line. That's going to stop Trevor Weary's possession in the service area.
And that is the second time that it has stopped Hugo Fisher's and his footing. He just didn't know what to do.
Tight ball. And Jesper Schutt. Great play at the net.
Keith Hughes looking at the ref, trying to argue it a little bit, but that ref was shaking his head no. Obviously, Concordia's point.
Weary with the pass. Jenke struggling to put that one over the net. Just went directly into the tape.
Jonathan Carlson to serve.
Inconsistency is what it is going to take to get to the end of this third set for GCU. They got to find that sweet spot for them and stay consistent throughout all aspects.
Jonathan Carlson sends that one out the back line. It is 10-6.
Ian McLean to serve.
The Lopes having a dominant third set. They're just really picking up the momentum as they've switched from set to set. Ian McLean with the float serve. Jesper Schutt from the middle. He's doing a great job this third set as well. He's up to 9 kills. He's got 3 blocks, and he's hitting a .615, which is pretty darn good. I think that's almost the best. Yes, that is the best hitting percentage for both sides. Fisher. Hoppy blocked by Obi and Hughes. Blocked again. That's out of bounds.
Concordia not happy with that call. Going over there, trying to talk to the ref. Ref is not having it with Hoppy. And coach will come out to discuss that one with the down ref.
I'm thinking they thought that just hit all tape, no fingers. They're going to kick it off right away with Hughes with the serve. He goes for the short float serve. Blocked once again by Obi. And Jakey was in there too, but I think that was pretty much Obi.
And make that 5 blocks for Obi during this game so far. Keep adding and at him, and you just cannot stop him tonight.
And that one's hit into the net by Mason Mullins. Heath Hughes back to serve. It's over. Off the top of the block. Fisher! No contesting that one either. And it just seems that GCU is just picking up the momentum and keeping it going. But let's go ahead and talk about some upcoming sports we got going on around GCU. I mean, the semester's ending, but sports are still going strong.
That's right, Diana. We're just pounded with crazy amount of sports, but now it's closing off. Baseball will be taking on New Mexico State. This will be within the WAC. It will be tomorrow at 12 p.m. Men's volleyball will once again take on Concordia tomorrow at 4 p.m. And men's soccer versus Air Force. Another WAC tournament as these teams are coming to an end. GCU currently sitting number 1 and Air Force is sitting number 6 in the championship.
I know I'm going to be tuning in for that WAC soccer championship. And the women played yesterday. We were both at that game. Marley and I were both at that game, and it was a heartbreaking loss in the semifinal. They dropped to Seattle U, which I believe was the number 1 seed going into the tournament. So their run to the WAC championship for the 2021 season is unfortunately over. But great efforts. The girls really left it all out there on the soccer field.
Oh yeah, it was a hard-fought game. They put everything they got into that game. There was some questionable calls that really got GCU amped up, but in the end, it did not matter, but they left with a standing ovation of everyone clapping for them. They had an incredible season with a new head coach who is an amazing man as well, and we look forward to next season.
That one's sent into the net by number 26, Josh Boothroyd. And Keegan Carey's going to step back and take the serve. That one's out of bounds. And Concordia is still staying on that trend of struggling in the service error department. That's the 17th one. So almost, pretty much half a set right there in errors.
And they keep adding to the list of people they keep bringing out there, seeing who can be a game changer. And so far, that hasn't been anyone.
Tight ball. Weary sends it down. Great placement. Great placement. Really, he staggered that ball right in between those two defenders.
Oh, man, Trevor Weary. I love it that he is doing so great. He deserves it. Outstanding player, outstanding person, and dropping it down right there, just finding the gap.
Jenke back to serve it, 16-8. That clears the net. Enrique's laying out for that one. And that's sent out of bounds by Josh Boothroyd. And Worley making some substitutions that we're not used to. Jason Browning checking into the game for Trevor Weary. And I think Trevor's not only pumped about how he's performed tonight, but he's pumped to see some of his buddies who don't normally see game time out there.
Oh man, I mean, obviously they are some of those players that don't see a lot of game time, so when they do get that opportunity, all support, all for them. And now we also have the transfer in number 16,
Jackson Hickman.
And he's so fun to play, an amazing player. We talked to Worley about him earlier in the season.
He's a talented kid. I remember going into the first practice watching him and thinking, how'd they get this guy to transfer over here? Tip by Grayson Browning. I'm pretty sure that's his first kill this season.
Oh man, nothing but smiles around here, smiles from us over here, standing up majority of that time. Great little drop right there. Concordia thought it was still alive, but no, Grayson got it down.
Hobie with the serve. Hickman tries to put that one hard cross, not able to. That goes through the block, number 7, Brock Henderson. Getting a little setter kill action over there for Concordia.
And it goes right between the two blockers' arms right there.
Hickman, and what hops on him. Got a good vertical.
I know how we talked that Hickman kind of has a Christian Jenke-like aspects. So it is going to be awesome to see him develop. Obviously, when you transfer for another school, you have to have that waiting period. But it will be a great contributor to the team next season.
He's like a blonde Christian Jenke. They're both about the same height, too, which kind of cracks me up. They could be twins, as far as their playing style goes,
Halloween
of course.
Costumes? Twins?
Browning. And how did that go through the block? Nobody knows. That was a magic trick. I'm going to call him the magician from now on. As the magician, Grayson Browning steps back to serve.
Magician Browning, that's for sure. It was like no one was even there on the other side. Everything was transparent, and he knocked it straight down powerfully. And you know, adding in these new players, Diana, it has to add a certain energy to the team. You know, you want to see your team do well. You want to see your teammates do well.
Jenke with the kill. And I just realized another similarity between Jenke and Hickman is they're both engineering majors, which is kind of a fun fact. That's a hard major to play a college sport and do. Cross court, number 26, Josh Boothroyd.
The ball going over there, almost knocking our production crew out. Yes, for sure. It is now 21-13 GCU.
Jesper Schutt with the floater. Hickman into the block, kept alive.
Mason Mullins with the block.
Goalie opted out of chasing that one down. I think that was probably the smartest decision.
Hickman sending it into the block, and then it bouncing right back off his chest. But again, good call, not trying to get all the way over there.
Blake O'Martian back to serve. Hughes sends it over. Catches Concordia off guard. Into the block on GCU's side. Well, that's a little tough from where we're sitting. Can't exactly see where the ball falls.
Blake Omartian to serve.
And that last one may have caught Concordia off guard, but they were able to regroup.
Omartian. Hughes. Out to Janke. And there was no block on that one. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, as my mom would say.
And this is a great way to go into game 2 against Concordia, but this game could mean that Concordia is going to come out with even more fire. And they're definitely going to be going back to the drawing board to figure something out. So GCU can ride this high right now, but they got to be ready for a quick turnaround tomorrow.
Keegan Carey back to serve. It's 22-16. Haven't revisited the score in a while. But we're sitting pretty close to the end of the set number 3. Out the back line. That's a side out for the Lopes. It's 23-16.
Christian Janke to serve.
What an awesome rejection once again. The blocking efforts are just superb.
And just like that, Diana, we are coming to the end of set 3. Everyone is on their feet.
Yeah, set point, game point. Concordia running it down, free balling it over. Hughes back to Browning, that's blocked. And Concordia still breathing, hanging on to this third set. Josh Boothroyd back to serve. That one going sky high. Hickman. And that's still, ref says that's down. Great effort for Concordia. Almost a pancake, but man, you gotta love how the Lopes went into this game. You could tell they were just excited to be here inside the Antelope Gymnasium, somewhere that was very near and dear to them before the pandemic hit. So we're gonna go ahead and send you guys to a quick break. We'll be right back here with the player of the game and closing statements. You're watching men's volleyball right here on GCU TV.
Is it possible to cook up the barbecue bacon burger at home? Well, that depends. Does your home have fresh chopped onions, pickles, smoked cheddar, Monterey Jack, bacon, tangy barbecue sauce, and orange and white stripes with the word Whataburger emblazoned on the front of it? If so, then absolutely. Good thing there's the limited time barbecue bacon burger at Whataburger.
Welcome back inside the Antelope Gymnasium for just a great, remarkable matchup between these two teams. What a great way to basically start this doubleheader against Concordia and get the Lopes set for their upcoming tournament. And Marley, let's go ahead and revisit the stats just to kind of break down this match.
Yeah, it was an incredible match between these two teams. GCU got the broom out of the closet again and then once again swept Concordia. Now on kills, it was relatively close, 37-34. Concordia actually had more on that side. Attacks, they had more on that side as well. They had 92 and GCU only had 66 for hitting. GCU held them to a .174 hitting percentage while GCU had a .318. on service errors. Concordia, which was their downfall, was 17, and there was only 8 for GCU. Concordia 17 digs, GCU 29 overall. GCU held them in the stats that needed to be held and delivered in the stats that needed to be. Great job overall from the GCU team.
And we talk about the Lopes' efforts, and there are a lot of players that really stood out to me, but it really comes down to BK Obi, and that's why we picked him as the player of the game.
Oh man, I wish we had a graphic to show it or a rollout video of all his plays today, but Obi, an incredible player coming out, not usually a starter, but hopefully in the future this shows that he can be. He had 4 kills, had a hitting percentage of .500, and then he had those 7 blocks. He was the definition of Block City.
So as we begin to wrap up the stream, I want to hand it over the spotlight to Marley. And for the viewers, most of them don't know this, but Marley, she's a graduating senior, so this is her last stream with GCU TV. Hopefully, I mentioned at the beginning, it's not the last stream that we will do together, but it's been such a pleasure working with you. You are just so fun to be on streams and calls with.
Well, thank you, Diana. I'm just gonna take a moment to thank a few people. I don't know who's all watching. Hopefully they'll hear about it later, but thank you to my boss now, Al, the people who hired me, Gina and Delana. They always believed in me and they gave me the opportunities to grow here at GCU, and I will be forever grateful for them. Thank you to everyone at GCU, to all my coworkers behind the scenes, all the full-timers, all the viewers, all the staff, and all the fans. Man, you guys have been there sticking with us through it all, and I really appreciate you guys as well. Also, obviously, a huge appreciation to my ride or die, Diana Johnson, for always, building me up and giving me confidence during volleyball games when I kind of came in blindsided, didn't know too much, but you believed in me and you were that positive light that I needed sometimes on my tough days, so I appreciate you so, so much. But I think the biggest thank you would have to be to my parents, I know you're still watching there in Colorado. Just wanted to let you guys know that I love you guys very much. Thank you for watching every stream. I am extremely grateful for all the support you have always given me, always being my #1 fan and demonstrating that endless love. Well, as GCU sweeps Concordia, it will go into day 2 to see if they can fix something. And for the last time, I am Marley Thompson alongside Diana Johnson, and go Lopes.